patterns mattered so much in dance class, but patterns can really make or break you as a dancer. Hello, dancer, and welcome back to Dance Colleges and Careers. I'm your host, Brittany, and this is the podcast where we talk about all things dance, colleges, and careers. Today, we are going to be talking about how you can possibly pick up choreography faster in the classroom with the idea of patterns. So if you've been a part of the Expression Lab, we dive really deep into patterns, the patterns of music, and how that will affect what your facial expressions should do. It's very odd, right? Because we always come back to emotion. How do we feel when we're dancing? How can we emote everything from the song? And how can we do it correctly? How can we tell the story correctly? But you know what? That is really hard for a lot of us to do. You are an amazing dancer, so how can we use the skills that you're excellent at to help you improve with something simple, not simple, might not feel simple, but something as simple as facial expressions? Let's dive into the idea of patterns. Did you know that music is created in patterns? Yeah, if you think about it, we have the introduction and then the first verse where it starts to tell you the story. Then it goes into the chorus. Do you know what the chorus is? The chorus is the popular part of the song, the part that comes back and repeats and that the audience usually can sing along with. Oh, if you've listened to Pink Pony Club, I think that is so funny at dance competitions. People will blast Pink Pony Club and the kids are all excited. Everybody's super excited to sing along. But nobody knows any of the words for the whole first 45 seconds. So it's and it's kind of a long introduction. So it's, and then everybody jumps and bounces and has a time of their life for 4 counts of 8, maybe 8 counts of 8, depending on how long they sing the chorus for Pink Pony Club. Okay, so that is our chorus there. So back to our pattern, it goes introduction, verse 1, chorus, verse 2, chorus repeat, and then we probably have another chorus repeat, a bridge, and then we go into the ending. And that's the pattern of most of our songs. Not every song, we always have exceptions, and that's perfectly fine, but who knew that just understanding the simple pattern of music could make your facial expressions so much easier to live by? Pick out one of your favorite songs and listen to it. Find the patterns in the music. You might find more patterns than what I'm talking about. You might be like, oh, that's when this kind of sounds like this other part. In college, we would utilize that in our choreography and we could turn it into a theme step. So if there is a theme of the music, something that you hear over and over again, maybe let's say that makes us want to do a pony or a specific walk in the music. When we hear that theme step, we might come back and do that step again. Not a full, just blah, blah, repeat, but use the inspiration of that theme to help the story, the choreography connect and move further. Are you following? So by using the patterns of music, it can allow you to create more cohesive and better choreography that follows the theme in the volume, momentum, and ending conclusion. Yes, so patterns can help you if you're listening to your music to know how to change your facial expressions. If you really want to learn more about that, you can join us in the Expression Lab. We really go deep into detail on that. Then if you want to use patterns in music to help give you a theme with your choreography when it comes to a little bit more of a mature mindset or a mature dancer, or even if you're moving into choreography. And third, you can use patterns to help you remember the choreography. Dance, movement, music is never random. It's not random. It has a reason, it has a purpose, and sometimes as the dancer, we're not able to see that at all, especially when we're learning brand new choreography. So the most difficult thing is when we can't see the big picture. Have you ever started learning a combination? Your teacher's giving you something new, you have no idea what the music is, and you're trying to put it together, and it feels like you're doing this thing when you pat your head and rub your tummy and nothing feels cohesive. Then when they play the music, you're like, oh, I get it now. So it's just like that. So it's best to try to find those patterns before we get into that freak out mindset and go, oh my gosh, I can't learn this. I can't learn this. I can't pick this up. Why does everybody else in the classroom get it and I'm not getting it? Can you relate to that? Has that ever happened to you? Picking up choreography was really, really challenging for me. I wish that it wasn't. I'm even embarrassed to admit that, but that was a huge, huge struggle for me. So one thing I did was I made sure to position myself around people who I knew picked up choreography really well. Even if my technique was better in a certain area, if I was better at something different, I often could find someone who was way better at picking up choreography than me. And since I'm so musical, it took me a really long time to figure this out, but how I need to learn choreography is to see the whole picture, to see the big picture, to understand what the choreographer's thinking and not just see it as steps, not seeing it just as steps to music, because then for me, it's going woo in one ear and right out the other. So one of the best things that I do is find the patterns from the choreographer in the music and how the movement has specific patterns and how they can come together. A specific example of what I mean is the choreographer they might have given completely different steps, but in the first 8 count and the second 8 count, they might have used a same rhythm pattern. So maybe in their movement, they put the accents on 5 and 6 in the first 8 count and the second 8 count. So as long as I could kind of tie that together, understand that the accents are on 5 and 6, all the in-betweens, then hopefully I'd get there, or those transition would move around those counts. But as long as I could see the patterns that the choreographer was creating, it makes it a lot easier for me to not only see, understand, but also pick up their specific details even better. So go out and try to find your patterns. Patterns make life easier in all aspects of life. Even in our schoolwork, there's patterns to it, right? You have lesson, test. It's not going to be one lesson, one big test, 3 lessons, a small test. It usually follows specific patterns. So start to see the patterns where you're good at, and see the patterns you need to fine tune. Yeah, fine tune where others around you can help you. Not by going, oh, well, I just don't get that. I'm not good at that one, so I'm just only going to worry about these. That's not a good plan. But find the patterns where you thrive, where you succeed, and then try to use those patterns in other areas of your life to bring those areas up. Let me give you a silly example. I used to thrive on winging it, and it really worked for me all growing up and through high school. And I believed that I was still winging it through college. And then even in my adult life, I used to think, oh, I am so good when I am thinking on my feet. Now, I am pretty good at winging it, but that's not where I thrive the most. Sure, I can be pretty good at that, or I can be better at that than others. But the real place where I succeed and thrive is not on winging it. It's on performance level. So I was able to wing it or feel successful in winging it because I had done the repetition, the patterns, the constant training and everything in class, so that when it came time to the performance, I was confident and ready to go. And I thought that meant I was good at winging it. So I started to procrastinate more and more and just go, oh, well, when it comes to the day of the show, I'll know what to say. I'll know what improv choreography to do. And the more I did that, I realized I wasn't good at winging it. I was good under pressure, under rehearsed circumstances, through patterns in my life, whether that was through public speaking or dancing. So I'm proud to say it now. It took me a long time to learn that I'm not an expert at winging it. I am great under pressure when I have taken the necessary steps to be successful and succeed in a specific project or area or topic. Does that make sense? Are you like me? Do you think you're like an expert winger? Is that a word? If you are, let's dive back in, do a little bit of soul searching and see why we're good at winging it, and then keep practicing that area so you don't have to just keep winging it and think that's what's going to get you through life, because winging it doesn't get you through life. It gets you so far, and then you're going to hit some plateaus when it comes time for something that's really important and really special to you. Thanks so much for being here with me today. I absolutely love these chats with you. So until next time, be brave, tell your story, and own the stage.